My name is Anthony Giglio. I am a sommelier, author, and journalist from New York City, and I am the author of the Food and Wine magazine's annual wine guide. Whenever I talk about Riesling in general, I say to people, think of it in terms of this. If you want great, inexpensive, everyday values, that's where you go to California. When you're looking for pure varietal character, I would go for New Zealand, where they make really, really beautiful, clean, grassy aromas. And when I'm looking for like beautiful lusciousness, like that overripe summer fruit, apricot, peach, pear, nectarine, that's when I go to the Alsatians, because they just are so, even in every price point, you're going to find that same mouth-filling, overripe fruit that you won't find in Rieslings from most other places. You're going to find, again, that I like to use the word always with Alsace, unctuousness. It's just this unbelievably mouth-filling. This is where you go for Kool-Aid with a kick, because it's got all that beautiful citrus acidity and gulpable refreshment. I just love to say that. It's really refreshing. Early in the week is when we're typically doing takeout, and we'll grab, like, spicy Chinese or Indian curry. There's a lot of Latin places in my neighborhood where we'll get like spicy chimichurri sauces and things like that. The acidity in Alsatian wines can stand up to any of that. I mean, typically I'll say to people, like, the go-tos are champagne if you want to really be extravagant. But if we're looking for everyday great value, I'd go to Alsace, specifically in the Gentil level, where you can get something that used to be 9, 10, maybe $12 can get you a great bottle, and it'll be gulpable on its own, or just as great with anything you put in your mouth. I like in particular to point out Gewürztraminer because it's a speed bump for people to try and pronounce. And I say, they think that this is just like Riesling, it's going to be sweet, isn't it? And I say, well, let's start with, it's nothing like Riesling. It's a completely different wine altogether, different grape altogether. But Gewürztraminer's uniqueness is its lychee character and that wonderful spicy quality that you're really surprised to find. It's not even on the nose as much as it is on the palate. And when I start telling people how to pair them with like really spicy foods, as well as great quaffing wines in the low end, from like the Gentil style to the great single vineyards and Grand Crus of Alsace, so the whole gamut. Typically, I like to surprise people and say, okay, let's do 3 little sniffs in any classic bottle. And people are always shocked by that beautiful petrol aroma. People don't know how to describe it, and we don't want to draw parallels to gasoline, but I think of something oily, and again, it's more like in the lusciousness of an olive oil, let's say, than the greasiness of petrol that the Brits use, that we all adopt. But it just tells you that, for me, that tells me that this is going to be something viscous and mouth coating. And then there's also beautiful white flowers, acacia, honeysuckle, great minerality. I mean, it's chalk and gravel. All really great touchstones of a classic Alsatian Riesling, which this happens to be.